What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up, Jack from the Netherlands? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you guys. Hit the like button. Aaron, good to see you as well. Come on in, guys. I got a good message for you guys today. That is seed retention makes you like God. Somebody says, Chef, I'm getting ready to cook. I got a good one, man. I think this will be of value to you guys and help you out. Well, let's get right to work, man. I'm not going to waste your time on this Saturday. I spent some time in reflection, thinking about this message and how it could be of value to you. I'm trying to adjust my tripod here. Give me a little second here, guys. Sorry about that. Not quite giving an angle that I want. Give me a second. Hold that note. No. So let's do this. You're pretty smart, right? Just a little bit there. All right, man. What's going on? Who we got here, man? Let me get some thumbs, some comments. Guys, hit that like button as you come through. Hit that like button. This came right at the right time. I'm on day 0. Okay, you need to get up, get that past 0. Get to about 7 to 15. Peace from Boston. Appreciate that, brother. Who we got here today? Who we got here in the live chat? Well, it's part of the journey. You know, when you say that, I guess, granted, that's going to happen at some point. North Carolina, we got somebody here from North Carolina. After 4 months, that's a good streak. 120 days is a solid transition. So, guys, as you guys are coming and comment, I'm going to go ahead and just give a few thoughts, kind of give us some foundation before I get into my message for today. Give some people some time, come into the chat. Hit the like button. As you come through, hit that like button. Let me know that you are here from Texas as well, from Nigeria. Good to have you here, brother, from Nigeria. All of you guys, Texas, Nigeria, North Carolina, wherever you're from. Good to have you here. All right, I want to talk about briefly, before I get into my notes from the UK, I did a message a while back about chosen ones and how, that can be very powerful when you understand who you are. A part of your power is understanding who you are before the Most High and how you can influence others and what comes with that. And so I had a message there, and I think some of the points for that particular message were that you are a public general. You have an unusual amount of personal pain. You have a lot of rejection from family. For the first time catching it live in a while, appreciate that, Vincent. You're a solver of complex problems, highly intuitive, sensitive, contact with the spirit and natural world. People have a strong reaction to you, which normally either love or hate. You don't fit in, and you have very vivid dreams. And so that message I did several months ago really is very closely connected to today's message and how the discipline of seed retention for men, I truly believe, makes you like God. Now, of course, there are various other disciplines with that to make that effective and to make that statement valid in your own personal life. But I'm going to spend some time today. I got some notes. I have several verses I have the autobiography of Malcolm X. I'll talk a little bit about that. I have some notes from my own personal journal. I do have those dreams. I had one this morning, very vivid dream, and I'll talk about that a little later in this message. Guys, as you're here, hit that like button. We got 60 here, 20 likes. Get those likes up so this can go forward and other people can hear this video. I'm sure some will see this tomorrow or later on tonight, which is what I expect this time of the day, and that's fine. A lot of guys may be out running errands or whatnot, so tuned in. Thank you, guys. Glad you came in and tuned in for this message. Guys, let's talk. You know, when you truly are chosen, right, you are a public general. So you have the ability to influence other people in a positive way. Now, you have those who influence people, of course, in a negative way. But when you're on this journey, long term, you know, whatever you may consider to be long term, some people consider long term, you know, 1 year, 2 years. I would say, you know, you start looking at 90 days plus, you're going to begin to really influence your environment. And so that's something I want you to look forward to. Having an unusual amount of personal pain, that's another sign that you are truly a chosen person. When you are called by the Most High to do something special, to do a powerful work, to do something unique, what comes with that is seasons of suffering, isolation. You know, I've talked about that in the past. Sometimes times when you are lonely or alone by yourself, being mistreated. You will often experience, you know, stuff that's just not fair. If you truly are a chosen one, what comes with that is a lot of hatred from people. Now, granted, you'll have a lot of people who will respect you. I got to be honest about that. You will get a lot of respect, a lot of opportunities. Doors will be open to you. People will gravitate to you for influence. Influence, but for information, for advice, for guidance. But what comes with that is a lot of hatred. And so you will experience a lot of isolation, at times being mistreated. People will just react to you in an unusual way. And the reason for that, to be honest, is because your power is increasing as a person. And so as your power increases, this causes others to feel inferior. They'll have this feeling when they see you like, who does the guy think he is? Right? Who do you think you are? You're not better than me. And those are not the thoughts going through your mind. That's going through their mind because they may not be on the spiritual level that you're on. And so when you walk into a room and you have a strong presence, you cannot be ignored. And so people feel your energy. You can feel energy whether it be positive or negative. People feel that spirit of God in you. And so that will draw, as I say in my notes, you will have strong reactions from people. Will they either really love you and gravitate towards you, or they really hate you? And what I've had in my experience is how that can sometimes really shift very quickly. There is a thin line between love, admiration, and also hatred. And that was actually a video I did a while back too. Now I think about it, I did a video about that. The thin line between admiration and hatred. And this is how that works. And because your spirit causes people to have a reaction. And so you're not the type of person that can be ignored or go under the radar. That's a sign that you are chosen. I'm kind of just talking a little bit before I get into my message. Highly intuitive. And these are some more benefits on the journey of seed retention. I have noticed in my journey, I'm sure you have in yours as well, is that you will have a high level of spiritual power as well as intuition. And so you'll be intuitive. You will see things before they happen. You will sometimes have a dream at night and it'll happen the next day or within the next 7 to 14 days or even a week or two. You know, you will have direct messages from God, man. This is how powerful this is. And so when I make such a strong statement saying that this journey will make you like God, I mean that. I got 7 points today. I haven't gotten to any of my points yet. I'm kind of just talking right now, kind of just stalling, to be honest, and sparing a little time to the guys get into the chat, into the video, give us some more men a few opportunities to get here and to hear this message because I want it to go out and to be received by men all over the globe. And so, you know, I got 7 points in my message. I'll get into it in just a second. We're up to 70 now. Let's keep that up. 70 guys, 30 likes. Hit the like button. One more time. Hit the like button. Takes you about 5 seconds. Let's go. So, you know, you'll be highly intuitive. Sensitivity. In other words, you will have a heart for other people. And so you will have a desire to help others. There are many people who have no desire to help people. Their desire is to bring harm and to dismantle the works and the influence of other people. And also, I would say that when you are truly a chosen person, you don't fit in. And so you are definitely someone who creates your own path, right? You are a person who is able to, stand out and to be an individual, not to be like anyone else. And so I think that's a few thoughts for that. In terms of today's topic, the journey of seed retention. This is a discipline that will clearly have a profound impact on any man, spirit, soul, and body. And so this is a very holistic practice. It is one that is very universal. It doesn't matter who you are. This crosses, as I mentioned before, racial barriers. It crosses class and sex. Doesn't matter what country you may live in. This is a discipline that is helpful for men all across the globe. And so let's talk about just how your personal charisma increases. This is something you will definitely experience within 60 days. So if you have been on this journey for at least 2 months, or kind of get that statement, about 60 days in, you will notice that you are quicker with your wit. You have an easier time creating dialogue with other people. You will find yourself sometimes talking to strangers. Strangers will talk to you, and just in passing, whether you be at the grocery store or gas station, business or work, wherever you may be, your charisma will increase. And so this will, of course, naturally by default, increase your influence amongst others. And so one of the many benefits of this journey is that you will begin to tap into your leadership ability. Every man, to a certain degree, has a leadership ability. And when you're on this journey long term, you will get more closer to that, and you will begin to manifest it, to begin to show that to the world. And people will see clearly that there is something different in you. And so when you're on this journey, you will definitely have an increase in your personal charisma. Now, in today's video, talking about how this journey makes you like God. Let's get to the meat of the talk. It's kind of an introduction. Let's now get into the meat of the lesson. Let's begin with the first principle, I believe, that is very powerful when we talk about this whole idea of becoming like God. That's a very strong statement. So the first thought here today is this. When you're on this journey, seed retention will make you holy, right? And that's a very important part of what it means to be like the Most High. Now, before I even get into the verses, I have some verses here and some thoughts. Before I get into all of that, let me just say that we are created in the image of God. That's my perspective. That's my belief based on the Old Testament Hebrew scriptures. Man was created in the image, or the Hebrew, the similitude of God, right? That's what I believe. That's where I stand. And so we're going to talk about what that really means. What does it mean to be a man like God? And really clearly define that. And I trust that after you've heard this message, you will have a different perspective on this. I think many people, when they think about God, they have this really inaccurate perspective. There is clearly a lack of understanding in who the Most High is amongst many people. And so I hope today I'll clear some of that up. And that's something I have brought, I think, uniquely to this table. There are a lot of people now on YouTube talking about retention and God. I personally believe I was one of the first ones, truthfully, back in 2020, to bring that new teaching to the community in a very aggressive way. And so I'm being consistent with that in today's message. I think this message today is kind of like a glorified recap of what I've been teaching now over 3 years at this point. And so the first point is this: the journey of retention in the context of making you like the Most High, or making you God-like, will make you holy. Now I'm going to read a verse today from Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 14 to give context to this. Leviticus 11, verse 44. Leviticus 11:44 says, "For I am the Lord thy God, you shall be therefore sanctify yourselves, and you shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall you defile yourselves with any manner of creeping things that creepeth upon the earth." So we think about this first point. To be holy is to be set apart. And so if you are on this journey, you are clearly setting yourself apart from most men. Okay, I would say very confidently that most men are not consistently doing this. You've seen one of my previous videos where I talk about how most guys cannot hold on to their seat for 21 days. I believe that's true. And so when we talk about something like this will clearly put you in that lane where you are set apart. And the purpose of being set apart isn't to say or to feel or to think that you're better than anyone else. The purpose of being set apart is so that you can get things done, so you can be useful for the Most High. You follow me? So this makes you distinct. To be set apart really means to be distinct. It makes you a chosen one. There's a level of purity. What we have in our modern world is we have a lot of men who are in danger of perversion. And I kind of hesitate to say that because it's a very strong word to say. But I think a lot of guys are in danger of that because of the easy access to, internet entertainment. I'll leave it there. Corn, for lack of a better word, is so accessible. And so what has happened to men all over the world, and maybe some of you guys too, is that you have tapped right into that, and it has led you to borderline a place of perversion. And so what many guys need right now is a clear break, okay, from that stuff. I'm talking a good 30 to 90 day break. I mentioned it in one of my previous lives, just a week ago, I think I talked about this. I think a number of men need a good 30 to 90 day internet fast. Why? To reprogram, to refresh yourself, to give yourself a break, right? To regain the strength that you have lost. Somebody says temptation tried to get me earlier this week. The depression comes in and makes you feel lonely. And you go back to the same cycle. Thanks for sharing that, brother. That's so true. Now, if you heard what he said, or saw that rather, or heard what I just read, that's a good statement. A lot of guys, and guys keep commenting, by the way, too. I appreciate that. Good statement. A lot of guys get depressed on a journey. Guys, you will most certainly get depressed at some point on the journey. Why is that? Because that release you were getting from the dopamine release, from those images, those pictures, those videos, that's gone now. And so you have to now face yourself. And sometimes for the first time in your life. And what I've learned on my journey of retention, speak for myself, when I'm on a longer streak, let's just say 30 days plus, 60 days plus, there is a level of discontentment in me. And I think that's a good thing. In fact, that's one of the benefits I believe that's so underrated is that retention creates this discontentment, borderline anger. Hey, what's up, Quentin? Borderline anger within you as a man. You look at your life and you're not happy necessarily where you're at. Great. I mean, you should be. I think that means you need to grow. Like I need to grow. You need to grow. And so that's a good thing. And so many guys on the journey will begin to experience sometimes days, maybe even weeks of this sadness or depression. And I think that could be a good thing because now that forces you to now make some changes, right? And to add some disciplines, a way of life, lifestyle change that can give you a new sense of accomplishment, a new sense of joy or release, for lack of a better word. We go to this stuff online to find a release, right? To find some temporary pleasure, to find that joy, that dopamine release. And so now the challenge for us as men is to find healthy ways to do that and to go forward. It says, I no longer feel depressed, very strong-minded, body, soul, and spirit. That's facts, brother. I noticed that whenever I'm in a cycle of releasing, it's always when I'm going through depression. That is so true. Listen, guys, this is often when a lot of men relapse. They're either depressed or overwhelmed, tired. This is when the enemy gets you. See, the devil doesn't fight fair, guys. He's going to try to catch you when you're depressed, okay? He's going to try to catch you when you are overwhelmed and when you are tired, when you are exhausted from working. For you blue-collar workers, for you guys who are working manual labor, 8 hours, 10 hours, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. Some of you guys are working, multiple jobs. You may do white collar work throughout the day, okay, and blue collar at night. I have a brother-in-law right now. My brother-in-law is driving Uber sometimes 16 to 20 hours a day. You hear me? Trying to get ahead financially. So a lot of men right now, are working themselves to death. And the way the enemy has positioned that information or those images and pictures on the internet is to catch men, watch me, who are tired. Listen to me. That's how I get you. He gets you when you get off work and you're exhausted and you're bored and you feel overwhelmed and you feel depressed, which can sometimes be the natural reaction to that life you're experiencing. Working hard every day, the stresses of work. And now you're looking for a mistress, right, to relieve the stress. And so what we have to do as men, we have to find other avenues to deal with that stress. And that's what I suggest. So purity, being set apart. When you are pure, women feel safe around you, right? You have this vibe that says this guy is normal. Women can detect when something is off with a guy, especially when it comes to the context of your private life. You can't really hide that. And so when you are living a life that is in alignment with that of the Most High, which is purity, that first point is this makes you like God. So the first point, guys, in this talk today is that holiness is something you will experience on your journey. You will be pure, right? You will remove the weird vibe that some guys communicate to other people when they walk to a room. You don't realize people can read your energy. And when you're doing stuff privately that you probably should not be doing, that's going to manifest when you are before the public. When you are, let me say that again. That was pretty good, actually. When you are doing things privately that you should not be doing, guys, it's going to manifest when you're before the public. So when you're around people at work, at a function, at a grocery store, at a barbecue, football game, concert, club, wherever you may go, you understand, your energy is going to reveal itself. And when you've been holding on to the energy, when you've been harnessing that energy rather, and staying pure sexually, then that will most certainly manifest when you're around other people. Let's get to work. Number 2. I have 7 points in this message today. Number 2. And guys, as I talk, feel free to chime in. I'm going to talk the whole time, as you know, but feel free to just comment, and I'll try to catch your comments as they come through. So I want this to be a little dialogue as well. Number 2. This will make you like God because it will make you strong, right? S-T-R-O-N-G, strong. The scripture says in Psalm 62, God has spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power, right? Power belongs to God. So when you think about the Most High, among other characteristics, attributes, truths that are revealed about who he is, among other things, the Most High, God, Yahweh, Elohim, is strong. Excuse me. The name Elohim, which is the Hebrew, which means God, essentially means strong one, okay? Power in his might. And so Elohim, God, is a reference to him as being strong and powerful. He is, among other things, he is omnipotent. So omnipotent means to have all power. So as a man, when you begin to harness your energy, this gives you some power, right? So you don't have all power, of course, like the Most High God, but you begin to tap into this divine strength. So this will clearly make you a stronger man, okay? So the strength will manifest in the 3 aspects of a human: spirit, soul, as well as body. And so when you have this strength, it will manifest in your physical body. Okay, many guys have experienced this, especially guys who go to the gym. Those of you who train 4 to 5 times a week, you will begin to experience more physical power. You may see an increase in your deadlifts, in your ability to bench press, your squats. Those 3 major compound lifts, you will begin to see an increase in that, of course, naturally with progressive overloading and training, your diet, rest, and all those other obvious factors. But with all of that, retention will give you that extra boost. And so you will see an increase in physical power. You guys who lift weights know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you don't go lift weights, then you may not experience this. Let's say you don't lift weights, but you do blue collar work. You will experience this in your work each day. You will have more energy to get that stuff done, to bang out a 7-hour shift, an 8-hour shift. Just tuning in, what did I miss? We are on point number 2. We're talking about how retention makes you like God. So the first point, I'm going to say this by the way too. The first point was that it makes you like God in the aspect of being holy. And then secondly, we're talking about retention makes you strong. And so we're talking about right now the physical part of that. Let's kind of talk about the spiritual side of that as well. Excuse me, guys, 1 second. Okay, continue this. So we talked about the physical part of that. Let's talk about now the spiritual. The spiritual aspect in terms of when you become to increase your power, you will have, in fact, and in Greek, let me read this before I go forward with that. The Greek word for strong is dunamis, or is similar to the word dynamite. Okay, that's what it means in the Greek, strong in the Bible. So you will begin to see this increase in power that is similar to dynamite. So with this, you will begin to go forward with your journey in terms of your physical workouts, your spiritual journey as well. You will increase in strength, and you will overall have this stronger aura about yourself. People will learn from you, right? You will begin to influence others. And so I do believe that this journey over time will clearly make you a stronger man. Which leads to number 3. We're going through 7 parts of this today. The third part of this is that retention will clearly make you a wiser man. You will increase in your wisdom, right? Somebody says, I have been going strong with retention since March 17th. Hard at times, but great. So March, okay, good. That's good to see that. Eye-to-eye contact, you can look people in the eyes more. Another valid point. The reason for that, guys, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to read these statements first. Hold on. I felt that power before. I mean, you literally feel that heat and confidence. So guys, you mentioned an increase in confidence, stronger eye contact. Those are good benefits, by the way. Physical strength increase. The reason for the strong eye contact, left a toxic job. That has been the experience of a lot of guys too. Guys, listen, and so I'm glad you guys keep chiming in. When you're on this journey, you will refuse certain opportunities. You will begin to see your worth. One of the downsides to fapping, okay, I'm going to just use the word fapping, is that it takes away, it begins to erode away at your confidence. People will notice it in you as well, definitely. So you begin to have a lack of confidence, and with the lack of confidence, you tolerate stuff you shouldn't tolerate. That's been my experience. And so once I began to gain victory over that and to regain my strength, certain people, jobs, opportunities are just no longer what you're going to tolerate. What am I saying? In other words, to make it plain, you begin to know your worth. That is essential on this journey. When you're on this journey, you will know your worth. You won't allow people to just use you, to waste your time, and you'll get to a place where you understand that you do have power, that you are set apart, that you are a chosen one, that there is a purpose to your suffering. You will no longer just tolerate anything. Now, to add to something else, like I said, the stronger eye contact, as you see right now with me. The reason for that, on a physiological perspective, I'll get to spiritual in a second, but physically speaking, your life force, or the life energy, seed, essentially travels up the spine. This is what happens during your journey, about 15 to 21 days in, and that eventually reaches to your brain and nourishes the brain, and the nourishment of the brain has a direct impact on your eye contact, right? So you will have stronger eye contact. Some people have even mentioned their eye color changes. I do believe that. And so on this journey, there's a connection. There is a connection with your life force, your brain, and your eyes. And when you lack that life force, you can't hide it. I don't care what you do. I don't care how much coffee you have, how many energy drinks you have, if you're taking testosterone or creatine, all that can help you. But at the end of the day, you cannot hide that you are lacking the energy that comes from your spiritual virtue. So, becoming wiser. James 1:5 says, if any man lacks wisdom, to ask God. So when you want wisdom, what is wisdom? Wisdom is the ability to put knowledge into practice. Knowledge is essentially all of the facts that comes from reading, reflecting, listening to talks like this. But the wisdom is the ability to put that into practice. The inner peace that I have received is unmatched. Certain people I don't hang around anymore. Great. So he's mentioned on his journey, that was Caleb, that he experienced a new level of peace. The shalom of God. Shalom in the Hebrew means nothing broken or fragmented. So unbroken, unfragmented, it is essentially whole. And so on this journey, you will experience this holistic peace. And when you have that peace, that fills that void that you often try to fill with bad stuff. You follow me? So when you have that peace that Caleb just talked about, this begins to fill the void that we have at times that leads us down that path of doing what we shouldn't do, right? That leads you down that path of on your phone looking at corn, losing your seed while you're trying to fill the emptiness. A lot of people focus on the physical benefits. I didn't catch all of that. When I'm on retention, my skin is so much clearer and healthier. Someone else said it will make you like God, and the outcome was catastrophic. We was retaining since we were babies, so when we get to retain as adults, we get the power that we have had since birth. And so essentially what you're saying is you return back to that childlike innocence, purity, and confidence, which I think is essential for your growth. So with that wisdom, let's talk about this. This can lead to an increase in your charisma. This can lead to sharper thinking, better quality thoughts. This leads to the removal of brain fog, visualization. You will have more vivid dreams, right? I had a very vivid dream this week myself. Someone said they had a spinal injury. Will this help? Possibly. I can't guarantee that. I'm not a doctor, but I can say that retention, the journey itself, does lead to a nourishment of the brain, but also a strengthening of the nervous system, and which, of course, will directly impact the spinal cord. So will that heal that? I don't know. It definitely won't hurt. I'll say that much. It definitely won't hurt. So I'm not going to give you medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to do that to you and give you a false hope. But I would just say from my study of this topic and the impact it has upon the nervous system, it most certainly won't hurt you. I'll leave it there. So in the context of wisdom, right? Clearer thoughts, better quality thoughts, an increase in charisma, having an easier time creating dialogue. So when you're at work and business with coworkers, you're able to carry yourself well, right? And to create and to consistently have a good first impression. That will be helpful for you on this journey. But in addition to that, in terms of becoming wiser, you will have more vivid dreams. And I had a very vivid dream this morning. I'm going to share with you guys briefly. Now, you guys know where I stand for my belief in spiritual warfare and deliverance. Guys, this is why you have vivid dreams on the journey. The reason you have vivid dreams on the journey is because during this time, you are closer to the spirit realm, right? You are in tune with the spirit realm. And in the night season, there is a very active spiritual war. There is a 3 a.m. war known as the witch's hour, where there's a lot of witchcraft. I talked about recently in my video, your problem is witches. It's because there's a lot of demonic activity that happens during the full moon, that happens during 3 a.m. The incubus and succubus spirit. The incubus and succubus spirit, which can have a negative impact upon you in an area of your private life. Those spirits try to attack at night to leave those thoughts in your subconscious mind so that when you wake up, your mind is in a place of perversion or a place that it should not be, a lower vibration. So there are a lot of spiritual attacks that you guys may experience at night. Follow me. That's why it's so important to monitor what you look at on your phone, on your computer, on your TV before you go to bed. Because what you are watching and filling your mind with throughout the day, whether it be throughout the music, videos, your phone, that will have a direct connection to your dream life. And so the devil's objective at night is to bring nightmares, night terrors, to put fear into your heart. Fear, as I said before, is false evidence appearing real. Okay, so to bring fear to your heart and also to discourage you or to bring you off the right path. The longer you go into your journey, some of you guys are going to begin to have some of these bad dreams you shouldn't have. And that's a spiritual attack. However, on the flip side of that coin, during the night season, God is also there trying to communicate with you. And he wants to give you a message. And so from a biblical perspective, one of the ways that God speaks to people is through dreams and visions. Right? Like I've said before, I don't hear God's audible voice. I haven't, me personally. But one way God communicates to me is through dreams and visions in the night season. And you want a reference for that? That is found in the book of Job. Job talks about how God will communicate and open your ears up in the night. So I had a very clear message last night from the Most High God, or this morning rather, in the night season. And in that dream, I was flying or moving up into the third heaven. You know my teaching on the three heavens. You have the first, second, and third. The first heaven is a reference to the air itself where the birds are living. You have the second heaven, which is a direct reference to the spirit realm where demons and Satan operate to essentially launch their attacks against humanity and people. And then you have the third heaven, which is where God dwells. And so in this dream, it was very clear in my mind, even while sleeping, that I was trying to ascend to the third heaven, referring to my spirit man. And while I was ascending up in this dream, there came my stepfather and my sister. And I was wondering, okay, of all people, why are they in this dream? And I noticed that in the dream, I was trying to I was elevating above them and trying to get away from them. And so when I woke up this morning, of course, that was the first thing on my mind, was that dream last night. Okay, God, what are you saying to me? And it was very clear to me that God was telling me, son, I'm breaking you free from familiar spirits. Okay? Familiar doesn't mean that my sister or father was a demon, but it was referring to the spirits that follow you from your family. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I just gave you something. I want you guys to listen for a second. And so some of you guys, like me, on your journey, you are in a fight, in a war with familiar spirits. And as those familiar spirits travel and try to follow you, it is a sign that you are breaking free, that you are trying to break the curses. And so on this journey, you will begin to break free from, I'm talking now, you will begin to break free from curses. And God was talking to me last night. He was telling me very clearly, son, I am delivering you. I am elevating you to this new spiritual level. Are you following me? And while you're going, those spirits are right there. And some of you guys right now, as you try to elevate on your journey, as you try to grow and develop, there are familiar spirits from your mama, from your daddy, from your mama, your sister, your cousins, your auntie and them that are trying to follow you. Let me give you some familiar spirits that are following some of you guys. Some of you guys are being attacked by the familiar spirit of sorcery, which comes through drugs. Some of you guys are being attacked by the familiar spirit of alcoholism, the drunkards. Some of you guys are struggling with that. That was a spirit that followed you from your own fathers. Some of you guys are struggling with a perversion and a lust demon that followed your daddy and now is following you. And so what will happen to you on this journey is that you will begin to rise above that stuff. and you will begin to break those curses. You will begin to break free from those familiar spirits. Some of you familiar spirits are right here in this comment section right now watching this video, but you will begin to break free from that and experience a breakthrough that is like no other. So on this journey, you will most certainly have a very real spiritual experience. If not, you're not on the path. Somebody said confirmation. My brother told me about this just yesterday. Confirmation, man. That's confirmation for you. When 2 or 3 said it, and he's there in the midst, by the words of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. So that's a word for you guys. So you are becoming wiser. So your knowledge will increase. You will have a desire on this journey to read more. You will have a desire on this journey to learn, right? You will crave knowledge. As I talked to you guys, there's a stack of books over there. I read most of them. I just finished one a few days ago. I'm reading through one right now. Why? There is a hunger for knowledge. Just as you have a physical diet, guys, there is also a need for a mental diet. You need to feed your spirit, your mind. And so on this journey, you will have a desire to learn, to increase your knowledge, to study, read books, reflect, keep journals, right? You'll keep journals on the journey. You will begin to watch videos like this. You may get a mentor. You will go have a consultation call. You will have yourself on a journey where you're consistently trying to gain more knowledge, which can lead to wisdom. Hunger to compete and get better will increase on this journey. Day 149 today. That's excellent, man. That's great, man. Close to, what's that? 5 months? That's excellent. And so, man, keep it up, man. Keep going. My parents had some stuff going on with lust and perversion. I had to realize that for myself, to be sober from drinking and casual sex. Absolutely. Guys, this is real, guys. Some of you guys right now, man, are fighting familiar spirits. Let me talk for a second. Give me a second. Hold that thought. I came ready for you guys today. Give me a second. I'm coming for you. Familiar spirits. These are demons that are familiar with you and your family. They have been following you your whole life in some cases, guys. Are you hearing me? Some of these demons have been following you, sir, your whole life. Is that clear? And they're trying to stop you from growing, from experiencing breakthrough and true spiritual growth. Okay? So on this journey, you will begin to fight familiar spirits. And what that simply means, these are demons that are familiar with your family. Let's talk about now number 4. Let me keep going here. I want to get stuck on that one. Keep going. I got 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 more points. Are you guys enjoying this so far? Over 60 days in today. Who's enjoying this message so far? Did we get anything out of this? Can you hear me clear on the audio? We're about 45 minutes in. I got about 4 more points. 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 more points left in this talk. Are you guys enjoying this so far? Hear from Cali. Is this insightful? Is this helpful? I need you guys to talk. What's going on? Is this helpful? Is this insightful? Is this giving you some fresh revelation? Right here enjoying this? Good. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. I want this to be insightful. I want you to get some revelation. I want you to be able to listen to this later. This is one, guys, I'm going to save, and I want you to go back when you're quiet and listen to it again, right? And to listen to receive all the notes. Get all this wisdom. Okay, this is helpful, good, loud and clear, very helpful. I appreciate that, brother. Watching before the gym. Excellent. This is good talk. Get you pumped up. Love this. I'm considering moving from my family, so I need to hear this one. Okay. Yes, sir, from Quentin. Excellent, man. Excellent. Excellent. Definitely helpful. Powerful stuff. Good. Thumbs up. So, let's continue. Let's get a little deeper now. We're going to talk about this 4th part of this message, and that is 21 years of age, great knowledge. I'm glad you're here. All you young guys, by the way, you guys are welcome. You guys 18, 19, 20, you need to hear this. You need to hear this message whether you're 45, 50 years old, no matter. But especially you young guys. You guys 19, 20, 21, get this knowledge right now. Get this now. Okay? Receive this and put yourself ahead of the game. Okay? 19. Good. I'm glad you're here. You need to hear this right now. So, Number 4, retention over time, okay, over time, will make you a unique individual. This is what makes you like God, because the Bible says, who is like God? Okay? So there is no one or nothing that is like the Most High. So he is completely unique. Okay? He is in his own lane. So as a man, when you begin to practice retention, this will make you unique. You will become your own man, right? You will begin to tap into your own individual gifts, okay? Your abilities. You will give the world something new. We got enough copycats out here. Everybody nowadays today, especially with music and entertainment and online social media, everybody's YouTube too, by the way. Everybody's a copycat now. No one can come up with their own thoughts, their own content, their own anything, right? So one of the benefits of retention is that there will be, over time, an increase in creativity, right? You will begin to create and build, right? The scripture says, from a Bible perspective, that the Lord founded the world by wisdom. Okay? So you need wisdom, you need knowledge, you need facts, you need game to do anything. Okay? And you're not going to do that losing your seed every day. I'm going to just be honest with you. So by disciplining yourself in this way, this will help you to begin to be yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. You'll be yourself. You will be this unusual individual in a good way. In a good way. Now, to add some more teeth to this, we're going to talk about an unusual man in a good way. And that is Mr. Malcolm X. Malcolm X was someone who was unique in a good way. He was his own man. He was an individual that influenced thousands of people while he lived, and probably thousands more once he died. Did you guys know that Malcolm X was on a path of retention, celibacy for like 10 to 12 years? You didn't know that, did you? We think about famous practitioners of retention, such as, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Prince, for example, Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs, and so many others that are referenced in this community as famous practitioners of retention. No one ever brings up Malcolm X besides me for whatever reason. But Malcolm X is a famous man, who was famous, who passed away, who was a practitioner of retention. And we're going to see from his life the various benefits that he experienced from this journey that have been discussed by myself and other men in the community for many years at this point. So let's get right into this. Let me read you a few quotes today directly from the autobiography. It says, "It has been 10 years since I thought anything about any mistress." This is Malcolm X speaking from his book. "I guess as a minister now, I was thinking even less about it. Any wife." He says another quote, "From the time I entered prison until I was married, about 12 years later, because of Mr. Muhammad's influence upon me, I have never touched a woman." So this is Malcolm X speaking from his experience on retention, right? There was a point where he was a womanizer. I read the autobiography 4 or 5 times, by the way. And during his season of being young and wild, which we've all had that time, I had my time being young and wild too. Okay, I wasn't always iron and so. Okay, there was a time when I was out there wilding, going to clubs, the whole 9 yards, smoking blunts, drinking, all that. I stopped all that, and I suggest you to do too, by the way. Some of you guys have been asking me about weed and drinking and all of that. I'll get into it in another video, but my honest perspective, brothers, let that stuff go. Let that stuff go, but I'm going to leave that there. That's another talk. I'm not going to try to blend it to this one. But my point is this. Malcolm X was someone who was a wild young man. and he got himself together as a young man. So he started young and he got right young. So he started retaining in his 20s, right? Started reading, 12 to 15 hours a day. You understand? He began to really influence people in a positive way. And I wrote down 10 benefits of retention, okay, that will clearly manifest in the life of Malcolm X. Someone says, does retention attract the right woman? Yes. The wrong ones too. So you need discernment to see the difference between the two. Retention will attract the good and bad, okay? So I wrote down 10 benefits that are clearly defined in the life of Malcolm X. You ready for this? Concentrated study, clear skin, good teeth, charisma, leadership and influence, power in public speaking, strong aura, health, fasting, diet. In the India culture, they call it ojas, or brilliant power. Now, though I'm not a Muslim, I am a Christian. I respect the moral fiber that Malcolm X was able to display on a high level. What do I mean by high level? He was one of the most well-known black men in the country at this time, and when he lived. So in the 60s, Malcolm X was one of the most well-known guys, black men in America. So that brought a lot of women attraction. He was a good-looking guy. Okay, he wasn't an ugly guy. He was a good-looking guy. In fact, they said he was mesmerizingly handsome. So here was this handsome, tall man. I'll give you a picture here. Charisma, very well-spoken, famous, influenced thousands. He had a lot of respect. He had a lot of respect for men. Okay, so again, another benefit of retention is that you will gain the respect of other men. I told you that, right? And here this is Malcolm X manifested in his life. All the things we talked about. Better quality thoughts, charisma, respect from other men. Okay, he became famous, right? He was a learner. He read a lot of books, studied the whole dictionary, and he is someone who has influenced possibly millions of people to this day. He was also a guy on this journey. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the uniqueness that retention gives you. This will set you apart. And I tell you guys, somebody says churches are not talking about this. Nope. They will, but not this directly, candidly. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I'm leader. It is what it is. So, with Malcolm X, those benefits that he experienced should be some benefits that you want to experience as well. That's why I bring all of that up. You as a man, if you begin to retain, let's say, for example, throw something out there, let's say 2 to 6 months, right? Just giving you a goal, give you a good goal, right? 2 to 6 months of retention, pure retention. If you do this for that amount of time, you will have clear skin. You will be more charismatic. You will have more energy. You will begin to slowly gain the respect of other men, right? There will clearly be some female attraction because you have a vibe now about yourself. You're more likely, if you're in retention, you have good body language. You are able to carry yourself in a good way. You have a positive aura, vibe about yourself that men will respect. And so clearly, if men see that, women are going to see it too. Okay? I'm pretty much right now close to a 30-day plus streak myself currently. And today I was at the gym working out, for example. You should tell I work out, keep myself fit. I was doing shoulders, chest today. I did some military press, bench press. What else did I do? Forget the name of the workout routine right now. Some back machine, forget the name of the workout right now. Did some of those, military press, the whole nine, working on my shoulders and upper body. Pull-ups, did some tricep pull-downs, the whole nine, right? And there was a lady that was there today that has been at this gym for a while. And she always has this like negative energy. And so today she kind of was speaking to me and kind of being more nice and positive. And she never speaks, And I think part of it is because of my current journey. This current streak that I'm on, that energy is felt by women, right? And so when you're someone like a gym was in close proximity, and you just walk around and your body language, your aura, people can tell there's something different about you, right? So you will over time gain more influence, and that leads to what Malcolm X experienced: greater influence, charisma, and overall having just this positive energy that gained the respect of the masses of people. So that being said, that's point number 4. And I would say to add to that, Malcolm X also has given us as men a lot of insight and wisdom when it comes to understanding women. I wrote this down. This is from his actual autobiography. And in his autobiography, he had 9 points. Okay, this is another some free game for you guys. 9 lessons he's given us as men that he learned about women. Okay, so take this down. 9 lessons. He learned to distrust almost all women. He says that church women sleeping with men, and some of these women were married. He says that some women play wife and mother while playing the fields like prostitutes. Okay, this is what he learned. Domineering, complaining, and demeaning women rob men of the enjoyment of being a man, and psychologically castrate men. Men past their 20s sleep with women for ego from women who have damaged and wrecked their egos over time. Free game. Prostitutes for a time make them feel like the greatest man in the world. Most men are easily pushed around by women. Women should be treated firmly and occasionally baby to show your affection for them. And 9, women are weak by nature and fragile, and they are attracted to the man in whom they find strength. This is your brother Iron in the soul. Let's break that down, baby. That's some free game for you, boy. Gang. Right? 9 points from Mr. Malcolm X in terms of understanding women. If you are on retention, guys, this is clearly a conversation about women as well. This is you gaining control over your you-know-what urges. So you cannot really talk about retention without also talking about female nature in your own personal life. You cannot talk about retention, okay, and not also talk about your own personal life and your relationship to the opposite sex. Let's do some work. Let's break that down. Let's go. Number 1, Malcolm X said he learned to distrust almost all women. I gotta agree with that. I personally, as a married man of close to 10 years, I am very careful with women. Okay, I don't play games. I don't want to open myself up to some accusations. I don't want to bring harm to my family. And so, me personally, I don't talk to most women. It's that simple. That's just how I am. That intimidates people about me. But I have learned to distrust. And why? Because we live in a world now where there's a lot of mess going on. Accusations, slander, adultery, gossip, malice, the Jezebel spirit. So me personally, where I get out, I don't play any games. I am straight lace. Okay? Iron. It's like my name. I'm straight iron coming to women. I keep my distance. I'm kind, but I don't play games. You know what I mean? I don't want to open myself up to unnecessary spiritual attacks. And so Malcolm X, a man who was in a position of power, he learned this and he understood that that's the way to go. Number 2, church women sleeping with men, and some of these women were married. Here is what Brother Iron knows from working in a church for close to a decade. And I did white collar, can't get the word terminology right. White collar work for 10 years, okay? In the context of a Christian non-for-profit as well as several churches. So I worked for a Christian non-for-profit, okay, in several churches for about 10 years. Here is what Brother Iron knows firsthand. There are a lot of women in church who are no good, right? Who are there breaking up families, Jezebelic, trying to treat the pastor like he's their imaginary, like he's her imaginary husband, right? Especially in the black church, the black church in many cases has become nothing more than a glorified cesspool. You know, not righteous. I mean, just bad. Women coming there with really tight clothes on purpose, trying to get the attention of a man, dancing inappropriately, saying inappropriate stuff, committing adultery, all in the name of following God. So there are a lot of ungodly women who try to hide in the church. And so Malcolm X knew this, right? Religion, not just Christian, also Muslim women. There are a lot of women who try to hide behind religion. And sometimes these religious women are the worst ones because they are so bored. They are bored to death, and they are sometimes more likely to go down the path of immorality. Now, let me be clear. That's not an indictment against all church women, of course, because there are some women who, of course, are righteous, who do believe in God, who do live a life of purity and righteousness, and they're on their path, okay? So it's not an indictment against all church women, but what I am saying is that there are some church women who live exactly that way. And I know that firsthand. I don't even have time to repeat to you guys the stuff that some so-called church women told me. I had women coming to me flat out. I know you're married. I know you're a man of God, but I'm on that with you if you're on that with me. I mean, just bold. Talking about my height, talking about my muscles. I haven't been with a tall man before. This is church women talking to me. Okay? So I know this firsthand, guys. There are women in the so-called church who are just as bad as women who don't even believe in God. And so when Malcolm X says this, I can tell you from 10 years of experience that is so true. So a lot of Jezebel spirits hide in the church. A lot of Delilahs hide in the church, temptress. And so when he makes this statement, this is very true. Number 3, he says that some women play wife and mama while playing the field harder than some prostitutes. So what is Malcolm X saying? He is saying that he had learned. He wasn't saying to be mean-spirited. Because some of you guys, when you hear this stuff, you hear it as an attack against females. This is not an attack against females. This is an attack against those females who have that type of spirit. Okay? Let's be clear on that. This is not an indictment against every woman. This is an indictment against some women. Let's be clear. Because some of you guys are going to misunderstand this because you want to misunderstand this. But the truth is there are women out here who pretend to be good wives and mothers who are not right. Okay? And that's a problem that needs to be talked about. There's a lot of conversation and dialogue online about men who are not right, men who can't control themselves, men who are impure, men are just dogs, and we're just that, and third. We're just so messed up, right, as men. But no one talks about these women who are just as bad as men. Are you listening to me? No one talks about that. It's always the guys. A man is a dog, and we don't know how to keep our pants zipped up, and we are immoral, and we're this, that, and the third. But very few people have the balls to speak up and say some of you women are out of pocket. Some of you women are wives and mothers, and you are messing with other men. I'll say what I said. Some of you women are right in the church every Sunday, messing around with the pastor. Okay? This is not gossip. This is what I know. I'm not some 20-year-old boy. I know this from experience. There are women out there in the house of God who are out there. Okay? And they're just as bad as men. So this whole idea of that just being a problem men has, that's a lie. That has always been a lie. Okay, there have always been women, okay, who are just as bad as some men. Am I making that clear? Okay, it's always been that way. Okay, yes, you got your guys. Some of you guys too, let's be honest, some of you men off the chain. Some of you guys can't keep your pants zipped up. You got to have your different woman every week. Some of you guys are right there, and you are trapped in that cycle of lust, right? And it has you under its control. And this is why some of you guys, back to the men now, this is why some of you guys struggle to put together a 2 or 3 week streak of retention. As wise as you are, as strong as you are, some of you guys cannot do 2 weeks or 3 weeks of sea retention. Quiet now, isn't it? Right? You're stuck there. You can't elevate past that and experience that new level of what? Spiritual growth. Let's keep it pushing. He says that domineering and complaining and demanding women rob men, listen to this, of the enjoyment of being a man and psychologically castrate men. Let's talk. By the way, hit the like button as you come in, guys. Hit the like button. Some of you men have been psychologically castrated by women. They have consistently talked down on you, and sometimes this is even your own mama. Some of you guys have a problem with your own mama talking down on you, calling you stupid, calling you dusty, calling you dumb. So many men right now are psychologically castrated. And guys, you cannot heal that psychological castration by conquering new women. Because some of you guys, that's exactly what you're thinking. I'm going to heal myself from the psychological damage done by women, listen to this, by having multiple women. That's not how that works, guys. That's not how that works. You will not get healing from the psychological castration by doing more of it. Are you following me? I know some of you guys not liking this. You heal from that stuff by saying no, by controlling yourself sexually, by retaining your life essence, by being a pure man, I'm talking to you now, by being a righteous man, by being a strong man. This, sir, is how you gain that true spiritual power that you need. Making sense? Okay? Let's keep pushing. Men past their 20s, so we talk about now guys 30s and 40s, sleep with women for ego, for women who have damaged and wrecked their egos over time. So a lot of guys, this is guys, older guys, I'm talking about guys my age now, guys in their 30s and 40s. I noticed this too, some guys, they want to be players as they get older. And the reason they do that is they want to be healed. Somebody said the castration reminds me of Doughboy from Boys in the Hood. Perfect example, brother. Did you guys hear that? He says that the castration, the mental castration, reminds him of Doughboy from the movie Boys in the Hood. Guys, that movie, the mother in that movie for Doughboy, she was constantly telling that boy, you ain't nothing, your daddy was nothing, you not going to be nothing, and when you have a mama like that, you are being castrated before you even become a man. Hello. So by the time you're 18, 19, 20, your mind's so messed up already from mama. Mama to mess you up. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, this happens a lot in the black community. I know you don't like this, but a lot of these black mamas are, I ain't scared of you, mama. I ain't scared of you, mama. A lot of you black mamas are castrating your boys mentally. Some of you, I'm talking, I ain't scared of you. Some of you mamas are consistently psychologically castrating your own boy before you even become a man. And all you're doing is eating away at his confidence. He can't even be assertive. He does. So now he's 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old. He don't even know how to be assertive now. He don't even know how to be a man. Because for the first 20 years, all you did was tell him how dumb he was, how dusty he is. You ain't nothing but a little A boy. You know what the mom's like? You ain't nothing but a little A boy. Right? Huh? I'm talking to you, mama. And then when your boy grew up and he kind of soft, now you got attitude. You did that, mama. You did that. Constantly talking down on him, won't let him think for himself, won't let him express his own thoughts. You want to dominate his thoughts, dominate all his decisions, and so now he can't even be decisive. He don't even know how to think for himself. And this happens to a lot of black boys. I'm talking to you now. And so you've been castrated by your mama for 20 years. Now you 20, 25, looking for a little mama to have a sexual experience with to heal you from 20 years of psychological castration. You dig? It's quiet here. Why you guys quiet now? Why y'all quiet? Huh? You didn't think I knew that? Some of you guys right now, man, that's been your problem. Your mama psychologically castrated you, bro. And you don't know how to be assertive. You can't think for yourself. You've been told to your whole life. Huh? Am I talking now? I'm talking to you now. And this right here, guys, this is a serious problem in our communities. A lot of our men have been psychologically castrated by either mama or their girlfriend. Little mama. So you go from being bossed around by mama to being bossed around by little mama. Come on, guys. Somebody said, I'm 51, I'm still struggling. Huh? Thank you for that king account. Castrated. Guys, I gotta be honest. I'm a grown man. I went through some of this with the women in my family, guys. I'm a black man. Come on, let me be honest with you. This brother iron, man. Come on, I'm not gonna lie to you. Those women were psychologically castrating me. And I got to a point as a man when I says, I don't care what you think about me. You're not gonna boss me around. I'm a man now. You hear me? You understand? And you come to a point, guys, where as a man, you don't let mama and grandma and girlfriend boss you around. You dig? And you think for yourself. Now, I know this is a sensitive subject. I got to say it. Because, listen, somebody said these women are ruthless. Listen, guys, these women will run right over you if you let them. This is what I know. These women will run right over you. Do you hear me? They will boss you around. They will treat you like you're a little boy till you're 50 years old. Come on, man. I said that. They will treat you like you're a little boy till you're 50 if you let them. That's why you have to be stern and stand your ground, man. Fight back. Stand your ground. Some of you guys, man, you can go toe to toe with another man, but a woman come around and you fold every time. Stop that, guys. Stop doing that, man. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Come on. Let's talk. You know I know this. Come on, man. I'm an OG. You know I know this. This is a problem, guys, in our community. I know this for a fact. This is an issue in the black community. We got these old bossy women. Boss people around. Somebody said I never get notifications. I'm not sure why, guys. Guys not getting notifications. They're deleting my comments. Guys, y'all know what time it is for my channel, man. Something ain't right about my channel. You guys know that. They doing something ain't right. I'm going to go ahead and say it flat out. Some of you guys not getting notifications. Some of you guys not getting your comments put up there. There's something not right, guys. And you know I know that. Okay? So let's talk. Let's keep it pushing. Prostitutes, for a period of time, make a man feel like the greatest man in the world. Let's have this real adult man conversation. Guys, that's why that stuff is so popular. That's why corn is so popular. The importance of knowing a good one from a bad one. That's very important, guys. You have to know a good woman from a bad woman. That's essential. That you understand the difference. The way I like to put it this way. There's a distinction between Abigail and Jezebel. Abigail is a good woman. Jezebel is a bad woman. I've been with my wife now close to 10 years. My wife is a good woman. I got blessed. Do you hear me? I understand that. And when God blesses you with a good woman, never let her go, because you may not get that ever again in your life. I'm telling you, that may be your last shot at that one. So when God gives you a good one, sir, hold on to her, that may be your last shot. You dig? So that is Abigail, and then you have Jezebel, which is the exact opposite. So learn the difference, guys, between a good woman and a bad woman. You got no difference. And it ain't just how they look. Because the truth of the matter is, they look the same. A good woman and a bad woman can look exactly the same, body-wise, face-wise, all that. Look at their character. That's what distinguishes them. Their character, the way they carry themselves, their conversation, the way they treat you. That will reveal who they are. Okay? Let's keep working. I'll consider that. I will. Let's keep talking, guys. Here's a good one. You ready for this, guys? Look at what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said it. This ain't me. Malcolm said this. Okay? Malcolm X says that most men are easily pushed around by women. You know this iron, right? You know I love you, right? I gotta say that before I say this. Come on. You know I gotta say this iron, man. Listen to me, guys. That is 1,000. Most of you guys are pushed around by women. Come on, man. Let's talk. Most guys cannot stand their ground when it comes to a female. That woman come around and their whole vibe changes. You hear me? Their whole conversation, demeanor, the way they talk. A lot of men struggle to stay in their masculine frame when a female comes around. You want to see how strong you are as a man? How do you carry yourself when that beautiful woman walks through that door? Come on now. We see you talk now, it's all men talking now. But when you're in that room, she come through that door with that dress on, with them heels on. Come on, we'll talk now. With that perfume on, she's smiling, looking good, talking that stuff to you. How do you carry yourself then? Huh? Somebody says too much gain on the mic. Let me check this. Thanks for letting me know that. I got it at medium, so it shouldn't be that high. I got it at medium, so I'm not sure why that's the case. Let me move it forward some. All right, let's try that. Thanks for giving me the heads up. Appreciate that. You know what, guys? How do you carry yourself? When that beautiful woman comes to the room, come on now. Can you carry yourself well then? Can you stay in your masculine frame? Can you maintain your shriek? Somebody said much better. Good, great. Can you maintain your shriek? Right? You're on a 30-day streak, you're on a 60-day streak, you're on a 90-day streak. Can you keep that going? Because I tell you guys, this is what I know. When you're on retention, your streak will most certainly be tested by women. Guaranteed. Women will come your way. All of a sudden now, women who are not interested will be interested now. They'll try to start conversations with you in public. They will feel that vibe coming from you guys. And so when you're on the street, somebody said 26 days. That's great, man. You're close to a month. Get to a month, brothers. Get to that 30 days. It's a shift. It's a shift at 30 days. Get there. Keep going. So you will be tested. So female attraction rather is a test. Okay? It is a test. So you will be tested on this journey to see how strong you are. And I pray that you guys stay strong, that you don't allow these pictures online, okay, the images and the different links and whatnot to get you sidetracked. Because all of that stuff is like a pit that will suck you right in and have you right back at day zero. And we're all can be guilty of that. None of us are perfect, by the way. Okay, no one's perfect. I'm on about a month streak right now myself. Okay, I'm not saying that to boast, but I'm saying to say that's difficult to do. Especially me as a married man, it's difficult for me to keep those streaks up and to go forward in that way. And when you do that, you position yourself for a unique spiritual blessing. Okay? Let's keep moving. Malcolm said this. Women should be treated firmly. Iron, there's hardly no virgins in Babylon. I'm tired of people saying there's no women. But who's going to keep digging? I read part of that. Thanks for the donation, by the way. Guys, what he's trying to say is that there is a struggle to find quality women. And I have a TikTok account where I do talks that are for primarily women. And the women on the flip side of the coin are saying the same thing about guys. The women are saying there's no quality men. There's nobody that's trying to go for, and there are no men who can really build a good relationship with them anymore. So women are basically saying the same thing the men are saying. So it has me thinking now, what's going on? If men are saying there's no quality women out here, and women are saying there's no quality men, what's the problem? Is there some truth on both sides? And that's what I'm leaning towards now. There has to be some level of truth on both sides of that coin. You know what I mean? I will say this, a quality man is rarer than a beautiful woman. A beautiful woman, no offense, is a dime a dozen. There are millions, thousands of good-looking women, curvy women, beautiful women. There are thousands of them, millions. So there are a lot of good-looking women. But there's not as many quality guys. Because to be a quality guy, you have to really distinguish yourself from a lot of people. And that's not easy to do. And so keep that in mind too. So there is some truth, I guess I can say, on both sides of that equation. Here's this from Malcolm X. He says that women should be treated firmly and occasionally baby to show your affection for her. I think that's true in the context of a woman who you're not intimate with. I don't think that's necessarily good advice for your own personal wife, but I definitely believe it's good advice for women who you're not married to. I do believe as a man you should, for the most part, be firm with most women. Not saying you got to be a jerk, not saying you got to be mean, but I do believe you should be wise, that you should be discreet, right? Cautious is what I would say. Cautious versus rashness when it comes to women. definitely guard it. You understand? And protecting yourself and your family from a lot of potential danger. And there's a lot of scripture that warns against that. The verses on the strange woman, the verses on the virtuous woman, the verses on a woman who is a snare to you. And so I think there's a lot of teaching from a Hebrew biblical perspective that really agrees with what Malcolm X is saying here, that we should be careful. We should be firm, be kind, show your humanity, be a man, but at the same time, don't cross the lines. Be careful with all that joking and flirting and cracking jokes and playing too much, because let me tell you, when you stop doing that, that's when the accusations come. That's when all of a sudden now he made me uncomfortable and he sexually harassed me because I'm talking to you because you're not giving them the attention they're used to. So don't start that. That's what I'm telling you. This is what I know. Don't start it and you won't have no problem shutting it off. So keep that door closed, especially if you're working with these women. You don't be able to work with these women, he, and ha, because the moment you don't do that, they'll switch up on you, go to HR, and now you're in hot water. Okay? Free game. Free game for you. Number 9. He says that women by nature are weak and fragile. Okay? And they are attracted to males in whom they see strength. This is a word from Malcolm X, brothers. So that is 1,000. Women are attracted to a man in whom they see strength. You follow me? So if you are a guy that comes across as strong, you have this masculine aura about yourself, you're physically healthy, you keep your hair cut, keep your hair done, you go to the gym, you got your cologne on, you're working hard every day, you got a shirt and tie on. If you don't wear a shirt and tie, you got on a nice jean outfit, you got something on that makes you look good. You follow me? When you are doing that, a woman's going to be attracted to their strength in you. She's going to feel it. Women can feel vibes better than the men. So she's going to catch your vibe, brothers. She's going to catch that vibe, the energy coming from you. And when she does that, you have to be strong enough to carry yourself properly, because a woman is attracted to strength, whether that be financial, physical, your energy, the way you carry yourself, your aura, your personality, your swagger, for lack of a better word. All of that is what will attract a woman to you. And I want to encourage you to be smart with that, okay? To steward that wisely, especially when you're in retention. Because when you're in retention, you will more naturally become charismatic, okay? Let's keep it pushing. Number 5 in this lesson. Wealth. Wealth will increase in your journey of seed retention. Over time, there will be a financial increase for you. Okay? Now, this makes you like God because God has all things. Okay, let's look at this for a second. Let's talk. Let's look at Haggai chapter 2. Give me a second here, guys. Haggai chapter 2 and verse 8. Let's do some work here, guys. Let's do some work. For thus saith the Lord of hosts. Oh, wrong verse. Sorry about that. Here we go. Haggai 2 and verse 8 says this. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. One more time. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. Guys, the Most High has all the silver and gold. It belongs to Him. So when you are on the path of retention, over time, I'm not saying instantly, but over the course of, let's say, for example, 1 to 4 years of consistent streaks of, let's just say, I'm throwing something out there, 15 days here, 21 days there, 40 days here, 3 months there, 5 months there, 10 days there. You get my drift. If you're doing that consistently for 1 to 4 years, there will be an increase in your finances, right? Because when you are on seed retention, you will manifest quicker. You follow? There will be a manifestation of opportunities. Okay? You will have fresh ideas. I got my thoughts here I wrote down for my notes. Fresh ideas. You will have opportunities connections. You have a better chance networking with other people. I've had a number of guys who I've talked to over the years on this journey who said that when they were on tension, they got more business opportunities. I can give you an example of a guy. Somebody says living righteously blocks wickedness. That's true. I'll give you an example of a guy who was rehabbing and building homes. And he told me, we did a consultation call, by the way, one time. We did a consultation. By the way, I do consultation calls for those who are interested. And I was doing a consultation with this guy. And he was telling me that when he was on retention, he would get more business. I really believe that. I have another guy who I talk with who is into personal fitness. And while he's been on this streak of about 4 or 5 months, he connected with a YouTuber who has, I think, like 1 million subscribers, right? Out of nowhere. He just got that opportunity. Why was that? He manifested that. So there's something about this journey that brings good omens your way. Kings, can appreciate that. Iron, these women hate good men in this country. I don't care how much you treat them. Thanks for the donation, brother. So when you're on this journey, you will bring good omens into your life, right? Good things will happen over time. You will, increase your wealth, your influence, your connections. It's basically what I believe. I think the way the universe, the earth, and humanity works with the spirit realm. Nikola Tesla said this, and I'm paraphrasing, not an exact quote, but it basically, you think about the earth and the universe in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. Energy, vibration, and frequency. So when we think of it that way, Nikola Tesla was someone who was a lifetime celibate. So he was on retention his whole life. And he's, of course, a famous inventor. We know about him to this day. Great man. In fact, the Tesla vehicles are named after him. And so Nikola Tesla, he understood the importance of stewarding his sexual energy. In fact, I believe one of his quotes was something along the lines of celibacy spurs on the brain. So he understood the connection between his life essence and high quality thoughts, right? Being able to form high quality thoughts, being able to come up with fresh ideas. And he was amazed, as a smart guy, as a genius he was amazed at the amount of people, in particular men, who cannot come up with their own ideas. And maybe some of you guys are that way right now. Maybe you're a guy that you can't really come up with your own ideas. If that is you, and you have to copy other people all the time, I strongly suggest that you get on the path of retention. This will help you to tap into your God-like energy, right? And a part of that is having resources. This is one of the truths that makes you more like the Most High God, okay? You follow that. So get on this path to manifest opportunities, connections, knowing your worth. That's a big part of knowing your worth, knowing who you are. And when you know your worth, you don't allow other people to dictate your pace. Understand? Hold that thought for 1 second. Appreciate that, Caleb. Sorry about that, guys. I need to get some more water. Thank you. Another tip, 1 gallon a day. That's almost done. Guys, when you're on this journey, it's not just about practicing retention. I would suggest as well to focus on your physical diet, right? getting a gallon of water in a day, exercising 4 to 5 times a week, eating your vegetables and fruits, getting proper rest and sleep, all of that will help you to make this journey effective. In addition to that, having quality rest. When you're on retention long term, you will have better quality rest as well. That has been my experience. So, back on track with this message, we're on point number 5 of 7. You will increase your wealth and your opportunities on retention. Why is that? People will gravitate towards you, right? You will have good omens. And I'm sure some of you guys who are listening to this talk can really share your story as well and understand from your own personal experience this to be true. Okay? Point number 6, spiritual power. Your spiritual power will increase while you're on a journey of retention. Spiritual power, what we're talking about? Breaking curses, right? I have a whole message on 10 points on breaking curses, answers to prayer. Your influence will increase with other people. Becoming a leader amongst men. I will say to add to that, you will understand what is sacred, right? So many people do not value or understand the sacred. That is an issue within our current society. People despise rather the sacred, and this makes them a profane person similar to Esau from the past. So let's look at this for a second. The Bible says in Hebrews 12 and verse 6, in Hebrews 12 and 6, Hebrews 12 and 6 says this. 16, sorry. It says, listen to this, guys. Let there not be any fornicators or profane person as Esau, who for a one morsel of bread sold his birthright. Let me read that again. Hebrews 12 and verse 16. Let us not be any fornicators or profane person as Esau, who for a morsel of bread sold his birthright. Let's do some work. A profane person is someone who despises the spiritual. A profane person despises the supernatural. They have no understanding of God, no understanding of prayer, no understanding of anything outside of the physical realm. And retention will almost force you to be in tune with the spiritual. This is why you will have more vivid dreams. This is why you'll get to a point where you begin to pray. Some of you guys will start fasting on this journey. Some of you guys will begin to understand the Bible, start praying more. Why? You have a desire now to tap into the spirit realm and to understand that dimension. You have the physical or the natural, and then you have the supernatural. So when you're on retention, you will most certainly over time begin to tap into the supernatural and experience the spiritual power that comes with that. Now, say I'm at that place right now. That's good. Retention helped me to connect to God for the first time in my life. I had a desire to tap into the spirit realm. Okay, I'm enjoying those comments. That's good. So this has been your guys' experience. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm sure quite a few other guys as well. Guys, you will connect with the Most High. And this is why I say this journey will make you more like God. I'm not just saying something just to give views here. If you do this, you will become a righteous man. Okay? You will become a strong man. You will become a person who is capable of leadership, who is capable of influencing and leading other people, right? As I'm doing right now. This journey has helped me to become a spiritual leader, where I can get online and do these talks for 1 hour at a time, for 2 hours at a time, and to give instruction, to give guidance, to give helpful advice, and to talk about what I have lived by experience. And number 7, this journey will make you a warrior. So what will happen is you will begin to tap into that ancient masculinity. That's my last point today. You will begin to tap into that ancient masculinity, which is a very important part of this process. That has been also something I have pretty consistently taught on my channel, and that is taking the sacred and the ancient and combining it into this new world. Taking those sacred biblical principles in that ancient masculinity and making it practical in the year 2023. So what do I mean by ancient masculinity? Beard growth, physical strength, confidence, being assertive, being strong physically, standing your ground, being able to go forward and to really create a path for yourself in life, being your own man, not allowing people to just run over you. All of this is a big part of my assessment of tapping into that ancient masculinity. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about that regal energy. We're talking about that regal energy. And when I talk about this, regal here is defined as dignified and fit for the monarch. So when you talk about regal energy, it's referring to being dignified and being someone who is fit to be a part of a kingdom. Being on this journey will help you to tap into that king energy, is what I'm trying to say. You will begin to experience that true masculinity. And this is something, as I close, that is under such attack in these last days. There is a strong attack, guys, against masculinity. This world we live in right now does not want masculine men, does not want strong men, assertive men. It doesn't like men who have that regal king energy. And look at it, even our culture here in America. Our American culture, for example, doesn't like men who come across as kingly. They take that as you're arrogant or you're standoffish or who do you think you are or you're unapproachable. And it's not that you're unapproachable. They can approach you with disrespect. They can approach you with bullcrap. And so because they can approach you and treat you like you're a boy, they want to demonize and vilify that in you. And that is a huge problem, sir, in our current world. Our current society, in my humble opinion, does not appreciate strong men. Let's talk. I don't need any notes for this one. I can put my notes to the side and talk from the heart. Got all my notes right here. We talked about all that. Let me just talk right now from the hip. Our culture does not appreciate strong men. We try to emasculate men in this society. We like to control men. So when a man comes across as being masculine or kingly or having a regal energy, that is vilified by most people in our society. And you know I'm telling the truth. They don't like that. You don't get promoted at work being that way. You don't get liked by most people. Most people like men who they can control. Doesn't mean you got to be a beta necessarily, because I don't really like using the word beta or alpha because that's too simplistic. But when you are more moldable, right? They like you. But if you come across as regal, as masculine, or as assertive, right? Or just have that quiet strength about yourself, people do not like that, including other men. Okay? So when you are on this journey, you will tap into that warrior in you. That's what I'm trying to say. That regal energy will manifest almost naturally. And that will draw admiration from some people and hatred from others. So you will be accused of being something that you're not. People will accuse you of being a bad guy just for being masculine. And that tells you how toxic this world is right now. They will call you toxic. Think about this, guys. They will call you toxic for being masculine, and you're a man. Think about that. You are a whole man out here who the Most High God has given testosterone, male hormones, strength, authority, wisdom, virtue, right? Knowledge and life to be a punk. That's what they want. They want you to put all that to the side and be a punk. And when you don't like that, they just push you to the side. We can't work with this guy. This guy is unapproachable. This guy, we can't. What it is you're not a punk. This world likes punks. People they can push around, boss around, treat any kind of way, follow the rules. They don't want anybody setting the tone. This is the world, guys, that you guys live in. And so you have to find a way to wisely navigate around all of that. Okay? And to find a way to really tap into your regal energy while living in a world that doesn't appreciate that. You follow me? That's going to take some skill to be your true, authentic masculine self while functioning at a job, in a community, in a family, in a church, in a world that is against that. And that presents a conflict for you. That presents conflict for me. So you say, how do we deal with that? Well, my friends, that'll have to be another talk. That'll probably have to be another talk. And I will keep that in mind. I'll probably do some more research and revisit that topic. I can't do everything in one talk. I think I made this point clear today, that the journey of seed retention will help you to become like God. All those points, principles, you will experience that. So here is the bottom line. Here's take-home value. You guys who are not on the path, get on the streak right now. Get on the streak right now. 30 days, 60, 90, 6 months, 1 year. Get on the streak right now. Get somewhere in that 30 to 180 day period of time. Go forward. Begin to tap into all these benefits. Regain, sir, the masculine energy and strength that the Most High God's given you. Guys, I am out of time. We are right now at 102 minutes. I thank you guys for listening. I thank the guys who gave a contribution. I appreciate that. And even the ones who didn't, I appreciate the comments and the feedback and the sharing of this video. Guys, I'm going to save this. Watch this video again. Share this video. Allow someone to benefit from this and continue to tap into that God-like energy that comes from this journey. This is your brother Iron and Soul. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.